The countdown to the US polls, the most high-stakes elections in many decades in the US. And I'm going to go straight across to Gaurie Dwivedi, who is joining us live. She's been reporting on the US elections for the past many days. Gaurie, you've covered various aspects of the US nail-biter, from, of course, gun violence to what Indian Americans think to, of course, immigration. These are all some key issues as far as the polls are concerned. But, you know, looking at the India view, what is the sense that you get from Indian Americans, given the fact that they've now become a very prominent political community as well, a political constituency for both the Democrats and the Republicans?
Oh, absolutely, Vedant. They've become very, very important. Indian Americans have become very important for both the Democrats and the Republicans because of the fact that they are politically important, they are economically important, and their vote, their views really matter. And before we talk more about the Indian Americans, I've got two very interesting ladies with me here, young voters, and the most interesting part, they're representing the two alternate sides of the political divide. One is a Trump supporter. One is a Kamala Harris supporter. First of all, thank you so much. You're in New Delhi right now. We're beaming live in India. The first thing I want to ask both of you is that what do you make of this election right now? There's just so much that's being talked about, and I hear a bunch of negative stuff as well. How do you see this election?
I think it's an exciting time because this is the first time I think a woman, especially a half Indian woman, has the opportunity to rise to power in a way that we've never seen before. So it's exciting. There's a lot of negative stuff, but you know, I try not to focus on that too much.
Yes, of course. And by the way, both of them are Eagle supporters. There's a big Eagle match today here. What about you? You're a Trump supporter, aren't you?
Yeah, my whole family's a little bit Republican, so I grew up in that.
Why do you say that?
I mean, my whole family's always been Republican, so I've just kind of always been more economically that side.
And there's so much of talk about the fact that you have a woman on the ticket on the Democrat side, and you know, if she becomes the president, she will essentially go down in history books. Like the 47th president could be a woman, you know, after 46 male presidents. As a woman, how do you see that?
I mean, that's very exciting that a woman could be president. I'm all here for that.
But you are all for Trump.
Yeah, I mean, if Kamala was on the Republican side, I'd vote for her.
That would have been like ticking all the boxes.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know, for you, what is most important in this election? There are a bunch of issues. Abortion, I'll ask you that because there's just so much of talk about reproductive rights of women, especially on the Republican side. You know, how do you view that? But for you, what is the single most important issue in this election?
Personally, I would say reproductive rights of women, women's rights in general, equal pay. The wage gap is getting bigger by the year, and you'd think it would be the opposite.
Do you think a president would be able to change the wage gap that exists right now?
I think anyone with the mindset to do that can. I think it'll take quite some time, but we can start gearing toward that direction because I feel that we have not been focusing toward that way. So.
What about reproductive rights, given the fact that, Republicans have a completely different view, and everybody has been saying that, how can Republicans actually control a woman's body?
Yeah, I mean, not all Republicans, believe in, taking away abortion rights. I fully support every woman should have the right to her own body and making that decision in every state, everywhere. So not all Republicans think that way. I just more focus on the economics.
Okay, and the one thing you would want after whoever wins, the one thing you would want this to be changed whenever whoever the new president is, that one big decision that you want them to make?
Helping the middle class.
Okay.
Economically.
Prices? Is that a big thing?
Taxes and prices.
Taxes and prices. What about you?
I think the biggest issue that I would like resolved is healthcare. There's just not enough access in this country for especially middle class, but poor and a lot of different classes. So.
That's very interesting stuff both of you said. Thank you so much for speaking to NDTV, and this has been very, very interesting, and all the very best for the Eagles match as well that you've come here to see. Thank you. So there you heard, Vedant, two young ladies, essentially representing the two alternate views as far as the political narrative in the US is concerned. And it is not as simple as what we're saying. One of them, a woman saying that yes, if Kamala Harris was on a Republican ticket, I would have voted for her. But if she's on a Democrat ticket, I won't. So it is deep divisions in America right now, and which is why this election is so tough to call.
Absolutely, Gaurie. Very interesting, and thanks so much for getting us those voices. So the US elections perhaps as polarized, if not more, as the Indian elections and the so many state elections that we see here in India. Thanks very much, Gaurie, for joining us.